the meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting is called to order. All right, first item of business is the discussion and possible vote on Revere Street, options and next steps. Okay, I'll turn over to Karen.
Well, first up, Paul Williams, I got an email today from Fred Russell that Paul Williams was going to come and talk to us for 5 to 10 minutes. Obviously, he's not here yet.
We can postpone.
We don't have any estimates yet. Fred Russell said that the on-call contractor can only do up to 50 grand for a project.
That's it?
And so he's saying Paul has to scale back his proposal, and I asked if we had the detailed estimate, and it doesn't sound like he did that. It sounded like he was, I don't know. So he wants to talk to the trust, I guess, to figure out if we can do anything or tear it down. I don't know if we could get to 50 grand, but I don't know what his total is now, of like,
Yeah.
Well,
what's
the
the
original
whole...
estimate was like
I feel like it was 70
70
plus,
something.
70 to 80.
plus some major systems.
Yeah.
Yes, but we've cleared a lot of those major
So
systems.
that was my question.
And
was
Did
how
we
that
finish
go?
the Title V?
Well, it passed inspection,
Oh, good.
That's what I
good.
thought.
and
And the plumber was going to come.
he said today that he spoke with Coastline Plumbing, the water was shut off in the street, he had to turn it on. There was no visual leaks found in the crawl space. The water there now must be groundwater or rainwater getting in somehow. There were leaks in the second floor bathroom. He does not know the condition of the hot water tank. Title V inspection was done successfully. And then I think that's, like Fred Russell said, that this is beyond his core work, so we're,
So if Paul had
shouldn't
mentioned
we,
he was going to be able to,
shouldn't we-
he was going to be able to clear it back for us.
sorry, traffic.
Yeah, well, that's because of what happened.
Shouldn't we have known that this was beyond his core work?
Oh, I think we've known
No,
that
no,
for a
no,
while.
Known that?
Oh, yeah,
No,
we've known
no,
that.
no, that's a different, I'm saying that.
Did we start already?
Yeah.
That,
Okay.
no, Fred Russell said it's not in his work to
But
help
not
us
Paul-
get
Paul can do it.
contractors.
Right, but
To
I mean,
work.
shouldn't Fred have said this is not within my core work?
He is now
Months
saying
ago?
that he was only charged with doing the safety, the work of the reattaching the electrical mast and taking the tree down, which I guess was taken down last week.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's his then? Good.
He said, and I, apologized and said that was a miscommunication, I guess, because Michael had said
Sure, that-
we could
Yep.
do this.
Okay.
And then Fred is saying it's because it's the 50 grand on-call contractor projects is now what's limiting him. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I think he thinks we just have to go out to bid.
Okay.
But that requires engineering.
That I'll need to talk to the new procurement officer to find out exactly what that does entail. In the housing trust account, we only have 138,000, I think. 138,000 is all we have right now in the affordable trust account to do the repairs. I'm assuming that the money already set aside from CPC for affordable housing could probably be used.
I don't know
But
if it can be
No.
for repairs.
I don't think it can be, because whatever was set aside for affordable housing was voted on at town meeting for a specific purpose.
okay.
So we would have to go to CPC with a new application. The application deadline for CPC is today.
So in March, it was 76,000.
Right.
Plus the asterisks for Title V,
No.
subject.
Yeah.
It sounds like some of those are
Done.
good,
Or-
so it seems like we still haven't.
And then we did speak to him about bringing in his sort of scope of what he felt needed to be done, because we just have to make it livable. And, oh, here he is.
Hi.
Oh,
That's okay.
Oh, welcome.
You're just on time.
We were just starting this.
You were talking about me, huh?
Ears
talking about
ears
you.
were ringing, right?
Yeah, I'm coming to defend myself.
Enlighten us.
Yeah,
We just started, and we're just talking about,
yeah, I haven't done the estimate, and I'll tell you why, a couple of things.
Okay,
The basement, as you know, is wet. So I have a guy crawl under there, we took a light, took some pictures, but, let's see what I got. Careful if I put my glasses on. Okay, just flip to the, scan it to the right, as you,
to the right.
yeah. And you'll see it's all the insulation's hanging down. The insulation is installed wrong,
Backwards.
and there's very little headroom. And it's all plastic, and there's water sitting on the plastic. And there was a sump pump in there, and for the sump pump, they had a 5-gallon bucket with a little hose coming up to drain the basement. So, that is the major, yeah, that's all.
Sorry.
But,
So there's water on top of the vapor barrier,
yeah, exactly.
and there's the sump pump, I can see.
Yeah. So,
so what's that, does that all come down?
Well, then why do you think there's water on top of the vapor barrier? So that's not groundwater unless it's
I do think it's groundwater. It's not.
just coming up through the,
No, it's not water table.
oh, okay.
There's 3 basic reasons why you get water in a basement. Number 1 is grading. So if it doesn't grade away from the house and the waters keep coming down, then it's gonna find its way into the basement.
Okay.
The other one is if you have tight material, like clay or something down, where the water goes down, it's a barrier clay, can't go any further, then it backs up into the basement. The third one is a water table itself, where the water goes down and it's good percolation material goes down, but it'll come up just as fast as it went down, and then it
You
just
see it?
bubbles up. That you only can use a sump pump in the spring of the year to get rid of that. That's, we built a lot of houses down through Carver. Carver is all sand.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there are bogs down there and everything else. We would do a perk test, we'd be down 10 feet, no water. Spring of the year, we were getting water in some of the basements. And we'd go down that much, come up that much.
Yeah.
So, but this case here, I do believe it's grading. The main, because if you look at the house, someone tried to fix it by putting some concrete on the outside, and they slanted and pitched it away, but they don't pitch it away enough. And I went down to the Board of Health and got the perk test stuff and the site plan and everything. And the perk test, it shows groundwater at 7 feet. And this one here, let's see when it was done. I think it was done, it was stamped 8/30, but the perk test,
Does that say 09? 99.
99. Okay, the perk test was performed on 9/3/98, so that was in September. September is not a wet month per se. Spring of the year would be a wet month, March, February, March,
Snow
and
melt
April.
and all that.
Yeah.
September.
So, a quick question on your,
Yeah.
so I'm seeing, so you see the water here on top of the vapor barrier?
Right.
And it's a low spot, obviously, so it will collect there, but you
Yeah.
think that's come from the sides, wherever the grading is coming in across the vapor barrier?
Yeah, it's seeping into the foundation. I do believe that. I don't think it's coming up from the ground.
Would you, that couldn't be a leak in the pipe?
No, I don't think so.
That's what Fred had, the coastline said that there weren't any leaks when he put in the water.
Right.
Do you think that the grading between the mound, the septic mound, and the house, maybe a French drain or something to,
Well, here's
would be
my,
the least expensive way to divert the water?
yeah, a couple of things. One, you have a tight budget. So now, according to Fred now, anything over 50,000 has to go out to bid.
That's
Right,
correct.
that's what
Well,
we're hearing.
so that's, kills my estimate, because I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Because what's gonna happen is, it's going out to all the contractors and everything else, so someone's gotta draw up all the specifications, go through the whole thing, and then it goes out to public bid. I mean, you wanna send me a package, fine, but I'm not doing the general specifications and estimate.
Could you tell us what, though, you think it could cost? If you were if you were doing the work?
Not really.
No?
What I would suggest is call some companies that deal in basement, dry basements and digging there are companies out there, because if, you got a crawl space that's maybe about 1.5 feet. So someone's gotta get in there, take all the insulation out, take all the plastic out, take everything out, so that's a dirty, nasty.
Mediation.
That's a-
Remediation. Does that have to be prevailing wage?
Well, everything has to.
Well,
Everything has to be.
Well, so if we hired Basement Technologies to come do it, we have, I mean, well, I've been having quite a few conversations with, other contractors and stuff. Most contractors, I've only talked to two, not necessarily interested because they don't know that much about the prevailing wage.
Right.
For the GC, they're not gonna make any money. All their subs make money because they get the prevailing wage.
but,
But, it's kind of a pain in the neck for them because it's a whole lot of paperwork,
absolutely.
no
that's-
extra money because we're forced to pay prevailing wage.
That's why you're not interested.
That's why he's not
But-
interested, of course.
Right.
So, though, as far as the max of the $50,000,
Right.
can the basement be different work that's not part of the?
That's what you gotta find out. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
That's what you gotta find out. I was
Okay.
talking with Fred, and
Yeah.
Fred says,
Renovation and
I said,
mediation.
what I can do is, we can establish a budget. So let's say we establish a budget just under 50,000, 48, 49, whatever it is.
Yep.
I can go and say what kind of work I can do for that. Naturally, you're gonna leave, because when you sell it, you're gonna say, there's a lot of stuff that the handyman can do, the homeowner.
Yeah.
Sweat equity.
Right.
So, you leave the painting out, but the drywall, all the holes,
That's fixed.
and then the tape is all gone, you gotta pull the tape down, fix all the tape. So all that is critical, a handyman's
Yep.
gonna get
Yep.
lost in that. So there's certain stuff that's, you gotta do.
The bathroom upstairs.
The bathroom was
That has to
upstairs,
be-
another one.
yeah.
So, now again, Fred has control over certain people, like the plumber. He deals with Fred direct. So I wouldn't include his price in my contract.
Right.
Now, whether that can go through
A
that,
separate, like, PO or something.
right. And so that brings us up to the question of, can you get someone in there to do the basement
Yeah.
per se?
Uh.
But you have to tell them it's prevailing wage. They will have to, go through and show it's prevailing wage. And then, maybe you don't have to put it out to bid, unless you wanna put it out to bid. That's up to
Maybe
you.
we don't
Well,
have to do
if
the
it's-
kitchen.
I mean,
That
do
was
you have
included.
any sense of how much, a basement like that?
Well, depending on because I've done bunches of them, so like down in Brant Rock, we've had to put bubbles under houses sometimes.
Yes.
Not Brant Rock, I'm sorry, in Kent Park.
Yeah.
Same place, we've had to put a couple bubbles under houses there, but that's because the sellers were the buyers were very,
What do you mean bubbles?
like Basement Technologies come in and they build like a vapor barrier, but they make a whole entire
Oh,
wall.
okay, yeah,
make
they
a
come
whole
up on the
bubble.
walls. All right,
It
yeah.
comes up over everything, and then they put an industrial dehumidifier down there
Mhm.
but then FEMA comes along, because this was in the flood zone, they
This
made
is
them
not,
put in the
yeah.
vents, and then so it busts the bubble.
Yeah,
But
right.
whatever, we made
Yeah.
it work. But this is not in the flood zone. That's right, it's
Yeah.
not, so that, I mean, it's not cheap.
Well, I'm wondering if, we've talked about certain things that we would just take off the price
Right.
when we sell the house. And so is this something we could tell the buyer, we
Yeah.
fixed everything
Okay.
inside?
I've been debating that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
right.
good, that's a good
Because-
question.
Yeah, because I myself wouldn't want, that's why I didn't wanna do the basement, I wasn't even gonna submit an estimate yet. Because if the buyer gets in there, now here's it's more of a legal question. You can say buyer beware, but you're gonna have to
We have to
notify.
disclose it.
Yeah.
You have to disclose.
Absolutely.
But you get in there, and all of a sudden, they get mold, they get,
Yeah.
the buyer, it doesn't get taken care of. They get an attorney. Now, some of these attorneys, pretty sharp, they say, hey, buyer beware, nothing. You sold it to him, you knew it, and what's he
That's why
supposed
we
to know?
disclose it.
So,
That's
I
what we
mean-
would have, but my feeling is we fix this,
Which is this?
the basement.
Oh.
Sorry, the basement,
Okay.
or the crawl space. And then the drywall and the bathroom,
But that sounds like that's over 50.
That's gonna be over 50.
the dry,
Oh, sure.
well, not,
What?
I mean, can we do if we can do the underneath separate?
That's what I mean, that's what they gotta do.
Yeah.
And not do painting, kitchen,
Well, the kitchen doesn't need anything except
well,
some
it has some
cabinets,
broken cabinets.
some of the
That
broken
needs-
cabinets.
Yeah,
But
the kitchen
initially,
wouldn't
we
do
were
that.
thinking we were gonna
needs ceiling.
include that, but if we don't include it, that would lower
I think
the
we'd have to
cost.
fix those two cabinets.
Yeah,
that were
I think those-
There
literally-
was three doors, I think,
Those
three
doors.
doors.
Three.
Yeah, you gotta replace
But
those.
the ceiling needs to be done.
What do you mean?
The kitchen ceiling.
Yeah,
From the
from all the
bathroom.
water from
Right,
the
from the
bathroom.
stain.
But that's part of-
it,
that's part of the
it.
sheetrock.
Sheetrock,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, sheetrock, yeah, we should
That's-
do
And
the
what
sheetrock.
about all the doors too?
I don't
Yeah,
think
all the
door-
doors,
I don't-
yeah.
Oh, the doors that are kicked in, yes, but not, I don't think we have to I wouldn't mess with that front door, that back door, well, the front door with the trim, not the back door where it was hitting the,
We were gonna
hitting
do
the
all the
ground.
doors at one point.
Well, you could pop that one out and move it up, clear the floor.
Depending on, yeah,
Okay.
That's,
that'd be a couple $1,000s,
no, not just to move it out.
okay.
No, that'd be less than that. You just take the door out, days labor, take a door out and raise it up and stuff. But with prevailing wage,
Well, that's
it'd be
the
$10.
That's what I'm saying, with prevailing wage, that's the challenge, I mean, if we
Well,
were
that's
just
what I
fixing
mean.
this house, we could do it for 30 grand.
Well, yeah, you're in a tough,
That's the
I
whole
mean,
thing.
the town repossessed that one up in, Old Main Street up in Marshfield Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And it went to auction, and I was flabbergasted at the price they got for that.
Yeah.
I guess, I said, well, if someone will go up there, he said, they're gonna have to tear the house down, and then you get the lot. So I said, $250 is a good deal, $250, so
A lot goes for more than that.
$500,000 that thing
To
went.
tear it down and build new.
Just, that guy paid $500,000,
For the property.
and then he tore it down, a part of it, kept part of it,
Oh, he
and
did?
then added on.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he
it
got the
looks
foundation.
fantastic,
Yeah.
but he put in a ton of money.
Well, they say that lots in North Marshfield are like 450.
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, buildable lot in Marshfield's 500.
Yeah.
That's what we pay now.
Especially up that
All
way.
right, so you're saying we get separate estimate for for the crawl space?
Receiving
Check,
and.
check with Fred,
Yeah.
check with,
Can we keep
check with the
this
accountant or somebody, and, the new procurement officer, I don't know her name.
Yeah.
But,
Um,
yeah, you don't wanna get caught going behind doors.
Right.
Right.
Just say, hey, it's
What we
just,
wanna do is on
yeah,
level.
right,
Gotta be
and
level.
just say, hey, we're gonna get set. Some of the myself too, what happened was, trying to get 3 bids is almost impossible.
Right.
Because, same thing, everybody says, if I put my guys on prevailing wage for this job, then they wanna work here, they don't wanna work the regular, and, bringing them back to the other.
That's what I was hearing too.
I kicked that around for a while,
You
I
can't, it's
gotta
'cause it's hard
sit
to
my guys down and say, hey, this is, you get prevailing wage here, but we do here also, we're doing residential, you will not get it, and everything else, and they agreed, and so on and so forth, and we worked it out. But a lot of guys will just, I don't even want to get to that stage, but Fred had a lot of work, so it did work
Sure.
out for us doing it.
So then we need a plumber, we need the crawl
Oh,
space
yeah,
person,
okay.
and then we need,
I didn't
What?
finish saying what.
yeah.
Okay, now, the plumber is also, he's the plumber for the town of Marshfield. The electrician is the electrician for the town of
Okay.
Marshfield. Myself, I am the general contractor for the town of Marshfield. I signed a 3-year contract. So it doesn't have to go out to bid. Those items do not have to go out to bid. Now, if I don't include them in my estimate, and this is how we did a lot of the jobs, the firehouse and everything else, then it's a separate line item that Fred puts through. But now, with the new,
They do get included.
yeah, now with the new officer, procurement officer in here, whether she's got a different ruling and she wants to do it a different way, you're gonna have to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will find out what she considers the project,
Yeah.
whether it's everything
That's-
at the
yeah,
house
That's a very
or,
good
yeah.
point, yeah.
Yeah, because, yeah, you know, that's one of the things, like I was saying, it's doing the estimate, you know, because
Right.
it takes time to do the estimate.
yeah,
It takes a
that's-
lot of
That
time and
costs money.
everything else. Tell you a quick story. Years ago, I did a job and I did the estimate and everything else, so the woman says, oh, I got a better price. I says, really? Okay, all right. I says, you know, what did he include? He included everything from soup to nuts. I said, that's your estimate?
Nuts.
Soup to- I said, where do you get the soup? Because he's nuts. But,
That's funny.
but anyway,
Well,
So we gotta
all right,
find
we just
out,
keep kicking the can.
so we gotta get some information from the procurement officer.
yeah, how you can work
We
it.
get little pieces of information each
All right,
time.
so then we'll have to regroup relatively soon after
Yeah.
if we can.
Yeah, and then from there, I'll, you know, I can give you an estimate, I can put
Yeah.
an estimate,
Okay,
because then I know,
well, that was,
I'm not the only one,
Right.
under the 50,000, so therefore, I'm working
get
for
it.
Fred, so.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
I'll give him the estimate and stuff.
It
anybody?
still makes sense to me to keep pursuing this.
No question
I
about it.
think until we find out for absolutely sure that it's not.
Yeah, if it's not doable, it's not
Right,
doable.
we gotta keep going, and
I
whatever
think we should
avenue we,
continue-
whatever
we should try to
road we
keep-
take, we gotta see if it
Yeah.
leads us to the,
Those are the first things I would do if I were
Yeah.
you. I would find out how it's gonna work.
That's
And
great.
then after that, start getting bids from
Okay.
water companies. Go out and look at that basement and see what, you know, and if you want, you know, just, you know, tell me what they come up with, or if you want, I can even meet one or two of them, just to see what their procedures. I think, you know, if they put a drain around the house, that might work, but you still gotta get inside, make sure it's going to the drain.
right, it's
Yeah,
not,
French
you know.
drain's not cheap. though.
right.
No, it's
No,
not
it's not.
really the answer.
No.
You know, I think, personally, I think you get in there and you gotta dig it out a little bit somehow. I don't know who's gonna dig it out in that 18-inch crawl space, but then go in there and you gotta put some perforated pipe, pitch it to a sump, not a bucket, but a regular
Yeah.
sump and everything else, let the water go in there and then pump it out. It's,
And where do you pump it to?
well, you gotta pump it far
Away
out.
from the house.
Way out.
Yeah, you gotta pump it out.
Yeah, but not in your neighbor's house.
Yeah, right, where you get, where you get.
You gotta do it
if
on
it's
your
a flat
property.
land,
It's not a huge lot. I mean,
No.
you got septic on that other side.
yeah, dump it across a neighbor. But,
That-
you can go up on top of the hill where the mound is,
They would know.
the septic system is.
Just make a little water feature.
Yeah,
It recirculates.
well, there you go. All right, so that's.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
of course,
This is
okay.
really helpful.
All right.
Thank you.
We've been kicking this around so long, and it's nice to get new
Thank you.
information.
Yeah, exactly.
Move forward.
Thank you so much.
I know,
Thank
you. All right.
There are bad news, but
Yeah, it's not
Oh,
bad.
this is good.
We're sending this in the right direction.
you still have a shot at
We
it.
have a
Watch the
direction,
camera there.
we have a direction.
Okay,
You know,
now,
We gotta
get rid of that.
change the lanes.
I
All right,
will
see you
let you
later.
know when
Thank
I.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right, well,
okay.
All right, so that's,
sorry,
so
Karen, a little bit
we'll,
more for you.
No,
Well-
that's,
before you move
This
on
is a
to,
pretty easy question, I think.
it's an easy question, but it's still, I wish I had a better sense of the total amount.
yeah.
Because we're still
Well,
nowhere
I'm
near
I'm
that.
gonna tell, okay, my best guess, he's gonna be 50,000, whatever we can get from him,
$49.99.
$49.99.
Yeah.
For whatever we can get him to do for
Sure, I would bet
$49.99.
you.
It's probably gonna be 20 grand under that house. That's not prevailing wage, so I don't,
Yeah,
that would be just,
20 grand for the basement?
yeah, at
The
least.
mediation.
if you're having to, yeah, if you're
Yeah.
having to add a
That's a
French
lot of
drain, or it's a
Mhm.
lot of work.
That, it could be, easily that 20 grand.
So-
Which is the
But
big
we
chunk.
haven't, he's not including any plumbing work.
But he said, I thought the plumber said, oh, it just, well, that's just the shower stuff, not,
sho-
there's nothing leaking, right?
Well, they have to,
You
so
won't know until they pull that sheet
Yeah.
put out.
Pull out the sheet rock and some of the tile and see where.
he
where
said
it's
the
coming from.
But we don't have any,
Fred's-
the rest of the house, just the shower
Yeah,
can, right?
Fred's
What were
email
you gonna say,
said
Craig?
that
No,
coastline.
I don't think we should be the ones who are estimating this. We need
Oh,
professionals.
no, for sure,
absolutely.
for
We-
sure, but at
absolutely.
a certain point, we
No question about
have to
it.
know whether or not we have to call it.
I agree.
No,
Can I give you one other potential option?
Sure.
The committee asked me to talk to James Morakis, Executive Director of the Quincy Housing Authority, so I did. And what they're doing in Quincy, Quincy is already giving the Quincy Development Corporation, which is a separate corporation from the Quincy Housing Authority. They're giving them 2 single-family homes to rehab. And basically, the Quincy Development Corporation will own them once they purchase them from the city of Quincy, and then they'll rehab them,
And they rent them.
and then they rent them. So after I talked to James, he says that's doable in Marshfield. However, you would have to set up the Marshfield Housing Authority Development Corporation. So I asked,
Could I just interject? So you said the Quincy Development Corp buys houses from the city of Quincy or from the Quincy Housing Authority?
they buy them from the city,
And where do they get them from the city? Like
the city owned.
they're just ones that they've paid for tax title or whatever?
Yeah.
And how does the development corp relate to the housing authority?
Two separate corporations.
Okay, so the housing authority will never be the owner of
The Housing
these.
Authority will never be owner, but they will maintain them. So the
Where's
Housing
the-
What does
Authority,
that mean?
Yeah.
so the Quincy
So they are
Development Corporation.
interrelated.
They're interrelated, but they're separate entities. They have to be.
Where is
I don't
the-
know all of the legal ramifications,
So it's like
but they
like a
have to be,
contractor relationship?
yeah, so they have to be separate entities. Quincy Housing Authority can come in as the contractor, not prevailing rates, and do the repairs.
Why are they allowed to do it for not the prevailing?
Because they have their own staff.
Yeah, they kind of pay their plumbers and everything like almost a set.
Salary.
Yeah.
That's
like
fine.
So they're
like a full
outside
rate.
of the state regulations for the,
Right.
okay.
Take some time.
And then who collects the rent?
They- So good question, I don't have I'm not positive on that,
Okay.
but the Marshfield Housing Authority would basically, would become part of their inventory, right? So if now we have 113 units, if,
But you just said they're, in Quincy, they're not
but
owned by the housing authority.
that's why we would invite James to
Oh,
come in.
okay.
Okay, so basically, what I've done is, I've asked the Quincy Housing Authority to prepare an application for the Marshfield Housing Authority to submit to the Marshfield Community Preservation Committee. Okay, that was done on Monday. The application is submitted on the 29th of September.
What's the application for?
Yeah,
So the application is for $25,000 to create the Marshfield Housing Authority Community Development Corporation.
So the Marshfield Housing Authority has discussed this at a
Marshfield
board meeting.
Housing Authority has not yet discussed this. It'll be discussed
So
at
who's the applicant to CPC?
the Marshfield Housing Authority. So the Marshfield Housing Authority will discuss it at the next board meeting, which is next Tuesday. I'll make that presentation, and then we'll vote whether or not to approve that application to the CPC. But I did want to get this application in prior to the deadline.
Because there was a deadline.
So, okay, so if the housing authority discusses this application with the Marshfield, who submitted the application?
The Marshfield Housing Authority will submit it to the CPC.
Oh, the Marshfield Housing Authority, I'm sorry, okay. The Marshfield Housing Authority submits it to the CPC. If the CPC is willing to give them money, then this trust would be set up,
No, it's a development corporation?
excuse me, a development corporation, town meeting required?
No,
Why?
why not?
Why?
because we're a separate entity. We're
No,
not
no, no,
governed by
why
the town.
CPC, town meeting
Oh,
approves the
Town meeting has
CPC?
to approve the 25,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
But not the corporation.
But, well, if town approves the 25,000 to set up this corporation,
Correct.
then the corporation is set up, it owns nothing at that point.
Correct.
And unless or until it finds ways to, I mean, what would be the mandate of the corporation?
Then basically, I put down 3 to 5 things that create affordable housing, preserve affordable housing.
So what are we here for then?
Well, you're an addition too, so the town may want to do some things that the Marshfield Housing Development Corporation doesn't want to do, or the Housing Development Corporation may want to do things that the trust doesn't want to do.
What is the 25,000 for?
Set up the corporation.
Basically, to set up the legal
But
expenses.
so what, under what part of CPC does that get covered?
That would come under affordable housing, or it may come
It
under.
doesn't sound like it
may-
comes under
may come
affordable
under-
housing.
It may come under administration, I'm not sure yet.
But the
So
warrant's
would-
closed.
would
No,
they,
this is for their
That
next
would be-
year.
the
Oh,
Marshfield
okay.
Housing Corporation,
I'm sorry, say that
the
again.
Marshfield Housing Corporation, would they, if it's created, would they be purchasing this house from us?
Yes.
With what
With
money?
what
They
land?
only have 25 grand.
We may go back to CPC to get more money.
So they'd be
a lot of
borrowing
money.
money from CPC?
Lord, that's a
to
couple
buy
years
the
away.
house?
Yeah, it's all.
That's a long time. That would be.
No, it would, not necessarily, because CPC could ask for money, earlier than April, or we could have an emergency
It
meeting.
feels
and
like
ask
we
for
would
the
be,
April
we
meeting.
would, it's two separate entities doing kind of the exact same thing. Except for we're a trust and that's a corporation.
But the reason you may want to consider, the reason I want to consider doing this is that we don't have to deal with prevailing wage rates. Quincy Housing Authority has already told me they will come in and repair this home if the Marshfield Housing Development Corporation buys it.
This sounds like a very
But they wouldn't do
expensive way
it, but
to do
they,
this.
I know, it sounds a lot more
Yeah.
expensive than prevailing wage. So,
I agree.
but, I mean, I want to make sure I understand. So, if the Quincy Housing Authority is willing to do the repairs, if the housing corporation owns the house, but not the housing trust? What's the difference?
Why could we not enter a contract with them to do
With
the repairs?
Quincy, because
Yeah.
the Quincy Housing Authority wants it to be a rental property,
Okay,
not a buy-sell situation.
because it's a for-profit thing,
Well,
basically.
it's, the reason Quincy Housing Authority, and they also believe the Marshfield Housing Authority should have this thought process, is that we will serve many more
I don't disagree with that. I
than we
don't,
would if
but-
we sell it.
Well,
So the
100%
life-
it's true with that.
The
We
li-
lose it,
the
we lose it.
lifetime of the value of the home may serve, say, 5 families versus 1 family.
It seems like the difference between the two is that the purpose of this trust is not to own any property.
Well, it's not necessarily our purpose, that's
Well,
not.
I mean,
in the
that's not
charter.
part of our charter, is to
Right,
like
yeah.
own
We
and
could
we
own
would,
property,
but we wouldn't necessarily.
That's never been our
want to become
plan.
a rental
No, we
Right.
never.
entity.
right. Because to your point, we're not set up to be a property manager.
Right.
Right.
And the housing corporation would be set up to be a property manager.
But see, I'm confused as to
No,
why
no,
those
the
aren't,
The corporation would not be set up to
So
be a
who's
property.
managing it?
The housing.
The Marshfield
Who-
Housing
who-
Authority.
The housing authority would.
So the Marshfield Housing Authority, but the Marshfield Housing Authority is contracted with the Quincy Housing Authority.
Mhm.
So that's the only reason we can do that.
Why
Maybe
are
just
they-
like T-Rock, not T-Rock,
The
yeah.
Marshfield Housing Authority
Why-
manages T-Rock through the Quincy Housing Authority.
Okay, so it'd be the same thing.
why does this development corporation not transfer these properties to the housing authority?
That's why we're gonna, if we would invite James here to explain all of that.
I mean, knowledge is, never opposed to knowledge, to understand something.
I don't think, I mean, this may be something that the housing authority chooses to go forward with, and we could, support any CPC stuff in the future, or may choose to take a vote on that. I don't see that that sounds
This is gonna
like
help them.
this is gonna help Revere Street. And I don't think we should be trying to confuse the two.
Yeah, because we got,
Because by the time we set up a corporation and it gets.
We need
It's gonna be a year down the line, because it's gotta go to
At
town meeting,
least,
town
and
meeting's
then
gonna have
we-
to vote, they're gonna, I
Yeah.
mean,
we
With
need
all
to
the
move-
water, there
I can
might be
guess how that's
mold
gonna go.
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to fix
Sooner.
that house.
I mean,
we need to move ASAP with Revere Street.
I'm not just.
but I'm not
Yeah,
opposed to
No,
that.
I
Gary.
I understand we need to move as quickly. All I'm
No, I
doing
understand what
is
you're saying.
suggesting a potential option if it doesn't work out, whether it be because of prevailing
Yeah.
wage rates or something else, that we have another
But it's definitely
option on the
something to-
table.
I think explore and understand.
Well,
See if
And
it
the
might
other-
work for
Other
us.
thing that I think we as, a board need to consider is, do we want to sell the house? Or do we want to sell it to somebody who's gonna rent the house? And, what is our philosophy?
We want to keep it affordable.
We want to
I
keep it.
hear what you're saying.
We
If
want to
we-
keep it
Affordable.
affordable, but do we want to keep it owner affordable or rentable affordable? And if we have that option, do we want to then spend more time in order to get to the rentable affordable option?
Do you mean,
To get to an owner affordable option?
I think we can't have the house sitting vacant for the better part of almost 2 years.
No, no way.
I 100% agree with that, but I just have another question. If we were deciding to have property, rentable property, we had to own rentable property, the trust can do that too. We don't have to have a separate corporation.
No, we would have to contract with the property manager.
Right.
We don't have any of that kind of money.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, there,
can
why
we
would we have
contract
to
with the
set?
housing, Marshfield Housing Authority to,
Well, I suppose.
or anyone else, any other property manager?
Well, this
We're
is,
diverting.
this is going to be in the future.
yeah.
I think that-
I understand, we understand, but we got to get this thing going.
And
With-
this needs
with-
to be voted on by your board
Right.
Yeah.
long before it's something that we decide if this could work
So,
for us
well,
or
and
not.
Not that I'm
it's,
trying to
that's out of our
blow up.
hands anyway. If you guys decide to move forward with this housing,
Regardless of what we
I
do.
mean, we have no say in that.
Correct.
So,
I think it makes sense to pursue the course of action that we have to get the information that we know we need from
We got
Paul.
to keep the ball rolling with this because,
And-
it's going to be winter soon and.
And to keep apprised on how this unfolds
Yeah.
also. I mean,
No, it's-
clearly, this is taking us way too long.
way too
And
long.
look at all the reasons why, but something's dysfunctional, and if we can figure out a way to make it more functional,
Right.
that
Sure.
would speed up the creation of affordable
No,
housing.
it's something to explore.
I think the reason it's dysfunctional is because we don't repair property.
Exactly.
That's
Well,
true.
which makes
We're
it
in
even
an
more hesitant
unusual-
to ever get in the rental
Right,
business.
we have to contract to repair it.
Well, if we have to get in the rental business and pay prevailing wage, it's never gonna work.
No,
Well,
we would help facilitate the development of rental properties. I don't think there's ever a time that we've
We would
anyone
do it.
envisioned that we're
No.
gonna start owning.
We don't wanna be property managers.
No, not at all. We don't have the staff or the quality. no.
But if the CPC decides that they're open to funding something, I mean, that'll be up to you guys.
I do think there's a unique role also to create owner,
Owner
like
occupants.
owner occupants.
Yeah, the ability to own property, I
Sure.
mean,
For people of a certain income level in a town where it's mostly out of reach. I mean, if that's our unique role, I don't know, but I do think it's important that people are able to have
Encourage
kind of buy-in
ownerships,
and
yes.
long-term
No, yeah, I-
investment
Correct.
No, you're right.
owning property.
and part of the reason I've always loved the MHOP program is because they do purchase the property and they're invested in that house and they are paying for that house.
Right.
We're just giving them a grant.
I mean,
Right.
I know from.
And I'd love to see that continue.
If we could figure out a way to do it.
Well,
Yeah.
to me, there's different models,
Of course there are.
and
Oh,
got-
We could build a whole bunch of tiny
Sure.
homes
You
and
know,
sell
we've
them.
got,
I
we've
mean,
got South Shore Habitat for Humanity,
Right.
which is an ownership program.
Mhm.
So we have created various ownership opportunities, I think, here in the town. How many should we have versus how many rentals? I'm not qualified to say that percentage, but there probably is somebody out there who could give us some
A
knowledge.
ratio.
that
Yeah,
says,
maybe that's an education piece for us to figure out if there's a sweet
What's the
spot.
ratio?
And personally, my moral quandary with pushing more rental is that it is depending on how things are structured, it's an easy way to price people out of town slowly over time versus having a fixed 30-year mortgage. Even with taxes and things, it's a lot more affordable for family rent on the edge to be able to maintain that versus, oh, well, our rent's gonna go up 5% a year for 30 years.
Right, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
So I think that's just another question we should have.
I have a separate sidebar, just comment, and maybe you'll know the answer to this, but I've heard, and I've not checked it, that the foreclosure rate on Habitat for Humanity homes is quite high. I don't know.
No, that would surprise me.
I don't know, but I can say that I don't think we've ever had
That
that
would
foreclosed
surprise
on
me
the
as
Empire.
well.
I don't recall any, well, I'm not been here that long. but-
Well, we've
Yeah,
had-
Have we?
No, there was,
One or two?
yeah, because there was one. The bank foreclosed on and then went to auction. It was sold to a buyer who was not eligible, so then they had to cancel the auction and then they had to do it again. And now there is a single mother with 2 kids living in there now.
But it's still affordable.
Yes. Well, because the deed survived foreclosure,
Yeah.
so even if
Right.
they've been foreclosed on, they have to go to another buyer.
Right.
All right, so let's,
All right,
I know,
well, we
and
digress.
just to try to answer your question.
Yeah,
In the 10 years that I was on the board of South Shore Habitat,
yeah.
we had 1 foreclosure.
Okay, I just what I heard, I've
So-
not checked.
But I'm
that's
not
what-
sure what's occurred.
all right, so let me just hold it. I mean, we can.
Sorry.
I know, all right.
Less than 2% is the answer to that question.
Okay,
Okay.
I feel better then.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna find out what procurements, we're gonna move ahead.
Move ahead.
Move ahead, okay, and then, and this is not, you know, and we'll explore this too, I mean, but not,
But so, as we explore it, do we want to invite James to another, next meeting?
no, not yet. I think let's get this thing going first. I think we can wait, you know, we're not gonna start right away. I mean, unless you got, if you think you wanna hear it right away.
I mean, no, I don't, it doesn't have to be right away. I'd be curious to see how it plays out with you guys.
Yeah, you gotta,
before we
you know, you gotta go through
spend a lot
some
of time with
gyrations
that.
Yeah,
too.
once that gets more serious with the housing
Right.
authority, then we should.
Yeah,
Then we should
once
know.
you-
Then
yeah,
we
you-
should know.
You guys gotta talk, you know, CPC's gotta go through it.
I mean, I think the 2 groups are at sort of somewhat cross purposes, so I don't know that the trust needs to get
Right.
heavily involved into the development
Yeah,
corporation.
right now, especially. yeah.
Assuming it happens.
Yes.
Yeah,
But we need to know about it if it starts to
of course.
look like it's coming to fruition.
So I wouldn't put it on the, you know, put it right, not right away. I mean, we'll see how this thing goes out. We gotta pursue this.
I think the first thing that we need to do is talk to the procurement
Absolutely.
officer and see, are we gonna take, which fork in the road
Is
are
she
we
here?
gonna take?
Oh, part-time, is that?
I will reach out to her that.
Okay.
it's-
Yeah, I've
I will
never seen her, but,
take
all
care of
right.
that. She works remotely and I don't know what her schedule is when she
Okay.
comes in.
Thank
She
you,
only
Karen.
started like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
All right, so we're moving, that's our path with Revere
Okay.
at the moment, okay? All right, item 3, the modification, purchase and sale of the South Shore Habitat for Main Street to extend the closing date.
Harris Bullinger said that they had, they've hired Grady Engineering to do the site work, and Grady's moving slowly. The purchase and sale had a closing date of October 30th, so they have requested their attorney through town council to extend the closing date to December 30th, so they vote of the board.
I move that we extend the closing date to
Hey, well,
December 30th.
December 30th.
And I second that.
All in favor?
Fine.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Do you have anything?
You have anything?
Well, no, it's just protocol.
Yeah.
It has to be-
All right. I'm looking, I'm trying, writing and trying to think and chew gum at the same time. Okay, so that's where we're going with that. All right, discussion and vote on the annual report.
I sent that out, I don't know.
We sent it out, yeah, Karen worked on this and I gave her some of my input.
I mean, it's, they don't change that much from year to year,
Yeah.
but,
It looks great.
okay.
Yeah, we haven't really got the the subcommittees go. We'll-
We did ours.
You did?
Yes, we
It's a
did.
great cup of coffee. I think, I like the, you know, it
We're
doesn't.
education. We had the whole thing for town meeting.
And you presented it beautifully in
You
those
did a good
forms
job.
where
I don't feel
you
like
picked the
this
right
over-
color.
You did a wonderful
We
job.
did.
Marcus talking.
Sorry, Mark.
I don't feel like this oversells the work that we did this past year, but I think it makes it look like we're making slow and steady progress.
I
No,
think we
sure,
are,
yeah.
we are
Yeah, but it
making,
is on the website, and it does look good.
It does.
It
well, we are
I
making
mean,
progress.
generally for the report in general. I
Yeah.
think this is a good snapshot of what we've done for a volunteer committee,
Sure.
for
Yes.
an hour a month, for wherever we are. I think this is great.
I think, though, what we should do is identify the actions that we have taken. All right, so on education, you know, at least 2 outreach efforts a year over the next 3 years. Did
We've
we-
done one.
Yeah, did we indicate in here that we actually accomplished one of them?
Well, I said I did the annual certifications, which is the monitoring part.
Yeah, that-
The education, I
that too.
didn't actually include that, but you guys did do the fact sheet
Mhm.
and,
So we'll add that in.
and that was given out at town meeting, and, additional information was put on the webpage. But, I mean, I don't know how much, if you guys want to say where you want to add all this stuff
Well,
to it.
you know, if I'm just a regular citizen and I'm reading this, and it says, well, here's your goals.
What have you done?
What did you accomplish?
Well, I will have the fact sheet and the webpage, and then we've done the annual monitoring,
Link the other
and
two
then
over
the
there.
development, I mean, that's over 4 years anyway. I mean, we have
I
listed
mean,
2
we can
things.
discuss
Yeah.
the Revere House under development.
I do have.
But it's there
Main
already.
Street and
Okay.
Revere.
It's just the-
I will just add the education to it.
And maybe if we wanted to draw that line more clearly for people, just, so the sentence, the Affordable Housing Trust goals include, and then the sentence, our progress towards these goals are as follows, or something, just something to draw that line really, right?
So where I say in 2025, just add.
Yeah,
our
so right-
progress toward those goals in 2025 were these things.
Yeah, exactly, just,
Just on a bullet point.
just so it's a big bright highlighter for someone who
Yeah.
doesn't know the
That'll-
patience
that'll
to read.
That's a valid, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
I don't want to assume that people don't read, but.
So, you
People
know,
only
No,
read
they
it when
don't.
they're sitting at town meeting and they're bored. That would be the only time.
And
that
they
people
read,
read.
right? So they can say, they can get themselves up in front of the microphone. All right.
Thank you for-
well, the only thing, again, is if I'm a citizen reading this, and I'm reading maybe for the first time, support the creation of 50 housing units? Oh, my goodness, we're gonna do 50 more affordable housing units in the town of Marshfield over 4 years? What are you gonna do? You know, so should we be saying,
Well, they're also,
Anything
their
about
goals, they're not action items. There's not like,
Family member.
it's an attempt to do that over 4 years.
Yeah,
Well, I guess the question that someone might have is, does that mean new housing stock
No.
versus the creation of, so, you know, is there a way to clarify that? Is that your sense of?
I mean, because they're at.
Well, then,
That's not
I mean,
our goal.
these are actually what the goals are written
Exactly, yeah,
as.
we
So,
can't modify the
yeah.
goal, so then it's our
well,
way.
but the creation, does that mean brand new housing?
no,
No.
no.
No, so then should we use the word creation?
That's
Well, then-
already.
So we have to go
That's
back
already
and
fixed
change
as a
that.
goal,
That's
so we have
fixed,
to change our
so
goal.
creation, yeah, so we,
Well, it is under the development umbrella, we say support the creation. I mean, you,
That's our goal.
I mean, I think if someone wants to stand at the town meeting and call that out, we can then describe what it is versus.
But it's also, I mean, we're supporting it. I mean, we could argue the 40Bs, we've like supported the creation of it.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
I think it's too complicated
And-
to parse in this.
I mean, the Bridal Crossing is like 56 units that was approved during the time period of this.
yeah,
So depending on how much you want to add,
well, I just want us to be clear.
Yeah, I think
So
that's a
when
good
somebody
thing to
comes to me
recognize.
and says, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I have,
Well, we could, I
The
mean, we could say
opportunity
we're
to explain
supporting
it.
the development of, but that makes it sound like we're doing these 40Bs,
right.
which we're not.
I think it's just important to be able to have an answer more
Yeah.
than spell out a contingency. And with the answer being to create a unit is not to build a brand new house or apartment. It's to support all the
To,
things that
you know, there's a
help our
developer
town
coming
stay
into
affordable.
town, having the
Sure.
discussions with them to get 10% of their stock or whatever they're building, if we
Would-
possibly can.
Which answers another objection, right? Like, we would much prefer 10% of the stock than cash that we
Right.
can't
Oh,
really do
yeah.
much with.
Right,
So
we
to be
can't-
able to have that conversation with people is
Exactly.
good for us.
All right, I will make
Money doesn't
The
really do us
edits.
any good.
and submit
Not-
that to the
$500,000
select board.
lives.
Not near enough.
All right, well, let's make those
Thank
edits
you.
and we'll submit it because we got to get it done by this week, I think. What? All right. We have to extend the state, if we,
What?
I have to,
For the Revere House.
The Revere House. We have-
No, we have that till January.
Okay, so what was the thing I pulled up?
The purchase and sale for Main Street.
Oh, right, I'm sorry. Okay,
The
Yeah.
Habitat House.
yeah.
You have to go to Bob's house
I
and
will go.
sign the
Bob's
extension.
office, Bob's
Yes.
office tomorrow, I'll be there, yeah.
So may I make a motion that we approve 2025 Housing Trust Annual Report as will be modified by our
Karen.
housing coordinator?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved unanimously. Okay, we got the Housing Coordinators Report. Karen?
Well, were there subcommittee, we already discussed that.
Yeah,
yeah,
we did subcommittee.
I didn't get to email the
Report,
the
okay.
report because I only did it today.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Solidarity.
Yes.
That's why I brought my glasses.
What is the status of the Prior's Marketplace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a bit challenging. I get regular calls from either the developer or their lawyer or their lawyer's assistant or any number of people, but they have now been told after I contacted the state that they can't switch one of the units to apartments in the luxury condo building.
They can't?
They cannot. That it's not appropriate because units are supposed to be similar units
Yeah.
within a development.
Which one, in that new building?
So wait, they were gonna try to
Section.
switch one to a rental with?
They seem to think that might help them. I don't know. I don't, they can't help
Instead of paying
the fee of yes. So they.
So we have to take the fee in lieu versus one of the units?
That was the special permit
Okay.
that they got approved for, that they were gonna be doing the fee in lieu of. And they would have 5 market rate units and they pay the fee in lieu of. But they didn't, I guess, do the math out before.
How much is the fee in lieu, do you know?
It's 40% of what they're marketing the units for. And
I think I go for a really,
it's
I know.
800.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
William
That's
Rivas
what I
got
thought.
it, so they know
Yeah.
we're gonna be on it.
I thought it was 800 and something. Did I say
It is 800 right now.
40% of that.
Yes, and so they're, just trying to figure out what they're gonna do, but they don't get occupancy permits until they figure it out. And I don't know why making it a rental unit would, I
Yeah.
don't know
Be
how
any
that would
better.
really
Well, they
help
think they're
them.
gonna give it to us to be a rental unit?
No, I told them they would have to hire a monitoring agent, they would have to have someone overseeing that. It's not just the builder who's like, yeah, I don't feel like selling it anymore, like, yeah, I don't know what they were gonna do. So that's
They
where,
finished the road back, now you can go into,
yeah.
and you come in,
Yeah.
yeah, they finished the road that.
But I think they're even struggling though to get someone interested in, the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and it's kind of a weird layout for
It
the
is.
building, because it's like 4 2-floor ones and one really big 1-floor one. But, so,
It's a strange layout.
Yeah.
Very different.
so that's where that is.
Sounds
So
good.
at some point, maybe we'll get $320,000 to the trust.
Well, it's nice
Used
to,
that.
it's nice to know there's some,
What?
it's nice to know there's some thoughtfulness too about just, putting an affordable rental unit in a place that it
Yeah.
would not be successful. That's,
Because I said no, and then they're like, well, did you check? And then, so I checked, and she's like, no, I agree, no,
Yeah.
you shouldn't do that.
What about South Shore Habitat? Is that,
That's just,
they're just doing their
they're doing
due
their
diligence?
thing, they're moving slowly. They wanted to, they're worried about whether or not the existing house ever had water in the basement, so I had to find them the key to get into the basement. And they decided that that was an issue, although he said there's just like an open pipe in the basement, which I thought was kind of weird and creepy.
Okay.
The whole house
Kind of
could be
pipe.
defined that way.
More info on that.
But yeah, they're, I think they hope to file with the ZBA in this coming month. So, to get their special. they
They're
need us-
creeping along.
Yeah.
Okay.
May I ask you, there's 3 bullets here that talk to Winslow Village 1 and 2.
Yes, they're all very worried, the residents.
They're what?
The residents have called a bunch. Minute Sewing Seeds has called on behalf of people. I guess that it's not really very forthcoming in the management office over there of what's going on with the sale.
They may not know.
So I did give Minute Sewing Seeds the information of the person I have been talking to, so she was calling them to get more information for them. But they, I told them what I knew, told them the select board vote was to just transfer the affordable restriction. There's still business as usual for all the people living there, so.
What was the one with the adding mother to the deed? Or mother-in-law?
It's an well, a stepmother.
Yeah.
It's, I forget where the guy's house is. His father bought it in 2013. He's starting to worry about, if he passes away, what happens to the house kind of thing. And I guess he was with the woman when he bought the house, but they weren't married, so.
Now they're married.
Now they're married, so he's gonna have to see about having.
Would she have to qualify?
I had asked before about it, and he really has to make sure she doesn't go in another house.
That
But
might be hard to tell with the trust.
But, well, that's true though, right? Even, say, in the MHOC program, if I was a single person at the time and I got
Yeah.
it, and then I married later on, I could add my
Yes.
spouse.
Yeah.
You
Even
should
if-
be able to.
Right,
Even
and
if-
that's,
can't
Even
sell
if
it.
they were over
Right.
the income guidelines.
yes.
That's true.
But they said they just needed to sign an affidavit that they didn't own other property. And, you know, he was just had a lot of questions, the son had a lot of questions about, you know, what happens when he dies, how does he get, and then he kept saying, how does he get out of this program? I'm like, well, we could sell the house.
Sell the house.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
like,
sell
it's
the house.
it's not like a program.
Right. Does he think he would have to pay that some kind of money?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Maybe that's.
I told him that, you know, if his father did pass away, he can't leave the house in his will to someone, but the estate could manage the sale of it, and the estate would get whatever money from the sale of the house. But if there was a family member who was qualified, they could buy the house.
So
From the
the house can't pass.
No, you can't pass it.
Weren't we just talking about that, about the son
Yeah.
that wanted to inherit it or something?
Yes, you can't,
Even if it's just to sell at a later date for the
no, you can't do that.
prescribed. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, that's what if they pass and the son just or whoever just continues to live there?
Yeah.
Can we,
I don't know,
I
then
don't know,
we
that's-
start getting into.
Oh, we're going
so we
into
don't
the
really
weeds.
have
All right.
oversight on.
Didn't you say that they have to, let's say the child lives there and the parent passes away, as long as the child is eligible?
Yes,
They
well,
have
that's
income?
where it all comes from being eligible.
Has to be
So you
eligible.
can't
Right.
just leave it in a will to your son if they're not, if that person's not eligible.
And in that case, it would have to be sold, divided, and then the house comes back to us?
no?
Or-
we just-
No, it have to be sold to an
Just sold.
eligible.
To an eligible
Eligible
person,
person.
of course,
Yeah.
'cause it's,
Yeah.
the deed's a person.
So what if
There's some what
If
ifs
a
that,
this is just really confusing. If a current owner suddenly wins the lottery or
That's
doubles their
okay.
income.
there's nothing you
fine.
can,
They don't
Just
have-
the generational
Yeah.
transfer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Does
Wow.
that
well, it's the
happen
same, it's the
somewhere?
same thing that's
So-
been the challenge with the MHOP program, in my opinion. The only thing that's really been a challenge with the MHOP program is somebody who qualifies now, like I sold 3 of them back in the day. They qualify now because they're young families with not a lot of income.
Right.
And now they've built careers and
Yeah.
businesses, and now they can well afford that house. But now they're sort of stuck, because if they sell it, they don't get market value for that property. They could afford to go buy another property, but now they're like, but why? Because we get this great deal at this cheap interest rate, whatever. And so they're sort of stuck.
Well, they're not actually stuck, because if they've been making money, they
Purchase
could have been
money.
putting aside all that other money that they
That's 100% true, but,
Right.
Yeah.
but most people start thinking, well, why would I give up this, unless I'm just busting at the seams and I've had
Yeah.
5 kids or
Yeah.
whatever.
You just described our
it's the
American
same-
housing.
American housing, right, especially.
It's the same for Habitat uses the same deed restrictions that the MHOP houses have.
Okay.
You can inherit you
No.
can't inherit a Habitat house
No.
either.
No, and it's,
But if you're income qualified, you can?
well, you can't inherit it, you would have to buy it. Like, so they
But you
let,
wouldn't have
On
to
the
do the,
estate.
you wouldn't have
You
to
have
do
to
the
go the
lottery.
Wouldn't have to do the
no,
lottery.
no. And there isn't a lottery when one of these units comes up for sale. It's not
Yeah,
a
it's just
lottery.
sold to whomever qualifies,
Whoever qualifies.
Who puts their hands up
like
first.
sort of first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the way they sell them.
Mm.
But is there a mechanism in place for enforcement if somebody just gives it to their kid and they move in and?
I don't know.
Doesn't disclose if the parent passed.
I don't know.
We wouldn't know, how would we
I
know?
would assume
Right.
EOHLC
Yeah.
would get involved.
I mean, these things
if,
come
you know,
out
if-
in the end
if
at
they
some
found
point.
out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's
Yeah.
true.
Eventually.
20
I
years
wonder if it's a
later.
foreclosable event.
Well, probably because it's a violation of the restrictions.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I
don't
think
to
it
go
would
down
be,
these in the
I
rabbit
think
hole
it
of
would be something that we and the state could end up suing
Right,
for their violation of that.
right.
But yes, so anyway,
That's really interesting.
you can't bequeath it to someone.
Yeah.
But it can be sold to a family member.
So they're buying it from their own.
Right.
Yeah, but-
Parent.
From the estate.
Because it's a
it's
set
a
money,
need
it's a
to-
set amount of money, so there's no,
Yeah, yeah.
But it could be, I mean, even the transfer, I mean, the sale, like, I don't know that even, I mean, it could probably be for $1 as long as it was all verified that they were income eligible. That's really where the
Yeah.
thing is
Yeah.
that someone needs to check that.
That makes sense because I've seen homes sold for $1.
well,
Yeah.
except,
Yeah,
okay, so this
sure.
scenario, an
Interesting.
18-year-old child, parent's gonna die, they have no income, so they can't actually qualify to buy the house.
Unless they get a part-time job and they have a job.
Well, but what if they've been in, the parent's been in there long enough that they don't have.
They own the
mortgage?
house,
Yeah.
right? That's, yeah, I don't know. So to your
Yeah.
point, it could be $1.
Yeah. It just needs to be formally transferred and formally validated that
Right.
they're income eligible.
Interesting.
And that the
I think
state
that's how,
signs
is
off on
that
it.
kind of how a lot of the rent-controlled stuff in New York happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
out of
Yeah.
my.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
I know, I know.
That's a whole different world.
It's another, I
I know.
know, sorry. All right, let's rein it back in.
Thank you, though. That's really good to know. I've actually had that question asked to me before, and I've been answered.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
And then the minutes.
Okay, everybody take a look at the minutes. Anybody have any questions, changes, suggestions, anything?
Before we go into the minutes, may I ask, did I miss this? 1801 Ocean Street?
What, that's actually the unit that had been foreclosed on. The woman has been in there for a bit, but the mother came in. They were very confused of whether or not they were utilities from when it was empty, like, so,
Okay.
so I tried to explain the bill with it. She had missed a water and,
Oh, so you just
Yeah.
explained it, we're
No.
not gonna be budgeting
no,
or
no,
doing
no, no,
anything
no,
with
we just
assisting?
worked with her and to
Okay.
get her in touch with the person at
Well, that was nice.
DPW and stuff to figure that out, but,
Yep.
yeah.
You
All
good?
right, thank you.
No problem. Okay. All right. If anybody doesn't have any changes or
I think two typo changes.
Okay.
Sure.
Under number 1, I think the vote should be 5-0 rather than 4-0.
Oh, sometimes someone came in late at the first, someone did, you mean the call to order?
Right.
Someone wasn't here yet, just like this morning,
Yeah.
like today, someone wasn't here
Yes.
yet.
So should we note,
I was stuck in traffic.
should we note then that,
We don't,
I can figure out who was missing.
The
Usually,
last meeting.
yeah.
it wasn't Carrie or me, so.
It wasn't me, I was here.
Cody, it's probably Cody.
You can blame me.
It was Cody. It was Cody.
I have it written down.
Did you?
But I
Was
just
it,
didn't.
it could have been me.
Do
No.
you have a
Okay.
late
I
category?
think it was Mark.
I seconded the motion for the roll call.
All right.
Okay, so maybe not.
Like,
I
so
watched
like,
you walking late one of those
so like
meetings.
today, like I wrote that Cecilia walked in
Yeah.
after the, like
Yeah.
she came in at
Right.
4:04. We opened at 4:01. So that on my other notes, it says who
3 minutes
walked
later.
in.
I know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It may actually have been me.
All right, so
And then
we'll,
the
What was your
other
second
one,
one?
Karen, just, I
Sure.
think you want to change you from Mr.
Oh,
to
yeah. I move things around.
Can I object to being Mr. Huber? I don't like that.
What do you want? What do you want me to?
I don't know, anything else?
Call you Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
hey, you.
Okay.
Mr.
Huber,
So if those are the only changes, I'll like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes approved. All right, so we got the next meeting. I think maybe what we'll do is find out about this procurement and
We
then,
still need to set a date. It's still way easier to set a date.
all right, let's take, everybody get their phones out or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so
What do we have?
today, all right, so let's, for all intents and purposes, today's, October's tonight. So, God, look at this.
28.
I'm gone the last week of October.
As am I.
Okay, so then
23rd, 21st.
we're not doing it right now. You can.
I haven't traded.
Oh, no, it's town meeting
I'm
week,
probably
I'm
spending
sorry,
more
my
money.
bad.
You for sure gonna spend more money than me, and I'm going for 16.
So we'll do it first week in November?
I am away the first week of November.
First week of November, can we wait that long? Should we wait that long?
How about, can we do it Thursday? Can we do the 23rd?
Yeah, I can do that. Sure, Thursday the 23rd.
Didn't you say you were away?
The week after, I can do the 23rd.
All right, Thursday the 23rd at 4
Yeah,
o'clock
me too.
again? That's all right for everybody?
23rd, 4 o'clock.
All right, so the next meeting is going to be the 23rd at 4 o'clock. Okay, so that's good. Anything else before we adjourn? All right, entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
So we said 4 o'clock on the 23rd, correct?
Yeah, 4 o'clock on the 23rd.
Thank you for videotaping us.